So at this time, I'm going to throw it over to the panel because I want to get your reactions on all these news stories, anyone in particular, or the problem of gun violence and gun culture in our country in general. And I'm going to go ahead and, since he is our guest tonight, I'm going to ask Kyle, how do you feel about these things?
Yeah, look, when it comes to gun issues, like a lot of other issues, I consider myself to be a moderate or a centrist or an independent, however you want to label me, in terms of international politics. But within the context of the United States of America, I seem like I'm a communist, anarchist, socialist, pinko, fill in the blank with whatever other leftist term you want to use. And the reason why is because I'm not a gun anarchist. So what does that mean? Well, look, I think with very small changes, you'd be able to greatly limit the amount of gun violence. Now, would we be able to completely eliminate it? No, you're not going to be able to do that unless you flat out ban guns, which you can't do, and nor would I actually be in favor of. For example, in Japan, where they actually have banned guns, they had 2 gun deaths in the year 2006. Their high was in the 20s, and it was a national scandal. Meanwhile, here in the United States, we have 30 on average per day. So just a few things real quick. What would I be in favor of? Number one, ban assault weapons, not just retroactively, which was as the furthest bill that was even semi-proposed by Feinstein, which had no prayer of passing, but it didn't even do it retroactively. It did it from here on out. I would ban assault weapons and do it retroactively. I would ban high-capacity magazines, and you do 100% no exception universal background checks. Now, if you do that, based off of what we've seen in other countries that do similar things, the gun violence drastically goes down. Drastically goes down. Now, let me just address one counter-argument real quick that people always fire back at me whenever I make this point. They say, oh, look, yeah, maybe it's a good idea to do those things, but we have the Second Amendment and you can't infringe upon the Second Amendment. Look, I'm sorry, but if you make that point, you simply don't understand, number one, the Constitution, number two, the history of the United States of America. So, first of all, the first sentence of the Second Amendment is, a well-regulated militia necessary to the security of a free state. The word regulated is right in it, okay? Furthermore, at the time it was written, all we had was muskets. So, not only that, but even Justice Antonin Scalia, who is arguably one of the most conservative justices in American history, has said, yeah, you would be allowed to do background checks and you would be allowed to ban assault weapons. Did you know that when we had the first assault weapons ban in 1994, the NRA didn't even sue to try to get it repealed? And the reason why is because whenever they consulted any legal analyst about it, they all said the same thing, that they would lose the case if they took it to court, so don't even bother. So, long story short, and I know I'm dragging on here now, just 2 real quick points to finish here. Just reiterating. Number one, the mild vanilla gun proposals that I listed off there that I'm in favor of are not unconstitutional. Number two, the statistics have proven that we know it will greatly decrease the amount of gun violence. So with that being said, everybody please attack me.